Let's see. All right, here we go. All right, we are back. It's a quick little break right there. Hope you guys enjoyed that jingle. We're back with the books, and we're going to kick things off with All New Guardians of the Galaxy number 6. So this is the hero section. Normally, this is Carl's little section to run and champion. We're going to be filling in for him here this week and go over the creative team here, the little solicit, or at least what the stated solicit is, and see if that matches up to what we got inside our book here. So this is All New Guardians of the Galaxy number 6. As if the Guardians didn't have enough trouble keeping off the radar of the Nova Corps, they've been now run afoul of the Fraternity of Raptors. Can a space hero get a break? Oh, man, that's a pretty damn corny fucking solicit right there. But anyway, we got writer Jerry Duggan, art by Aaron Cooter. That's all that's listed on Comixology's website here. Let's see what else we got in the book. Color artist is Ives Sorvencia. Letters is, of course, VCs for Marvel, Corey Pettit. So, you know, basically what's going on here at the start of the issue is the team has just discovered that Gamora is really secretly going after, what gem is it? The Soul Gem? Yeah, right?
The Soul Stone, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what? Is that the green one?
I think it's the yellow one.
Yellowish?
Oh, wait, the colors are different. The colors are different. I forget which color that is.
Okay.
Because between the MCU and the Marvel Universe, the colors are different between the two, so
yeah,
so hard to keep track.
I know. Yeah, that's an easy thing to confuse. But and anyway, we got just the team confronting her, basically Star-Lord's championing the effort, and he gets socked in the face for doing so, and they're like, listen, dude, and tells him this story about why she's going after it. You know, basically she was dead and imprisoned inside the Soul Stone, and I don't know, basically was having a good time inside there. Now, the whole key to essentially her story is that she's still got a piece of her trapped in this Soul Stone. She doesn't feel whole, and that's her motivation and reason for wanting to possess it, and really not letting the team in on her entire motivations and them discovering it without her outright telling it to them, you know, essentially lying to her teammates. And we got a whole bunch of just distrust building between the team, which is kind of always a running theme between the Guardians, you know?
Yeah, it's been building pretty well through the... I mean, she's been hiding this since the beginning. We've all known about it. I mean, Drax has always had an inkling that she had something going on. Or I think he always knew the whole story for some reason. I don't know why she confided in him and not the rest of them. Like,
Drax mentions at one point, she like mentions to Drax, you know what I'm talking about. Like Drax was also imprisoned inside this Soul Stone too.
Or was he dead? I forget. Did Drax ever die before?
I'm really not a Drax aficionado. You know what I'm saying?
I think he was there with her or something. I think there was something like that in a past issue. I'm forgetting about it right now, though. I'll probably remember later.
He mentioned something about it. Yeah, he mentioned something about it in this issue. If we're as we're thumbing through it, if I come across it, I'll bring it back up. But you know, as things move along, at some point,
they were dead. He says it on the next. Yeah, he says we were dead together. That kind of experience breeds camaraderie. So yeah, they were dead together.
There it is. As I flick the next page, so yeah, they were in the Soul Stone together, but Drax, I guess, must have come out whole, and Gamora still has a piece of her behind. All of a sudden, while this is all being sorted out and the team is discussing things, they basically lose gravity in their ship, or their gravity controls and total control of the what's the ship called? I always want to call it the Mojito.
The Milano.
Yeah, the Milano.
The Mojito.
Yeah, that's always what I want to call it. But anyway, instead of like Milano, when I think of Milano, it's like a cookie to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't be named after a fucking
farm
cookie. Yeah. So You know, anyway, the team gets basically Star-Lord gets his head crushed. Rocket uses Star-Lord's head as a cushion as they all go flying over the ship because the gravity is just going wacky. They try to get to the controls, and as they work their way to the control center, the front of the ship, that's when they see they're face to face with a Ravager ship, and they come to the conclusion that since it's been able to take control of their ship, totally kill their power source, and shut their controls down. These are the original owners of their ship.
The Raptors, yeah.
Yeah. So what we got here is we got Gamora kind of, championing. I keep saying this word and I don't know why, because I can't fucking say it. She's spearheading the effort attack these Ravengers that are about to attack their ship. And it's all dark around. Yeah. It's all dark around her, like just around her because they've killed the power to the ship. So she's trying to sneak around up to them. Don't these guys look like Darkhawk when they eventually work their way?
I was just fucking thinking that exact thing. I was like, wow, these guys look just like Darkhawk.
The first guy busts through and it just looks like one guy initially. And I'm like, holy fuck, Darkhawk, where the hell have you been, dude?
Does he have anything to do with the Shi'ar Empire?
I
forget.
To be honest with you, I've read books Darkhawk was in the 90s when I was a kid, and I remember next to nothing about him except what he looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Looking him up right now because these guys are from the Shi'ar Raptors. So
yeah, fill us in on Darkhawk, and I'll keep going with the book here. So these Ravengers come busting in. They look exactly like Darkhawk. A big fight breaks out on the Milano, which is the Guardian ship, and we just get some back and forth fighting occurring here. Basically, the Ravengers, the Guardians don't know what the Ravengers are here for. We see them work their way to the back of the ship, and they come across this dead body, like it's all decayed and in the spacesuit. And the Guardians, as Star-Lord, never knew this body was there, from what I understand about what's going down here. Am I right there? Can I pause your Darkhawk research for a second?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just reading right through it, and I'm like, his origin's fucking insane. But say it one more time.
We're at the point where the Guardians are fighting off the Ravengers. The one Ravager has worked his way to this area of the ship and finds the dead body.
Okay. Yep.
And this was like hidden on the ship, right? None of the Guardians knew this was here.
No, they didn't know he was there.
And then this is the big reason that we're discovering why these Ravagers, this group of them, have come for this ship.
Yeah, I mean, we think they're there for the ship itself because they stole the ship from them, but they're there just for that body. There's something in it or something on it that seems to be of great importance.
Yeah, and we're about to get the answer to that coming up shortly. So the bad guy takes this dead body, and Star-Lord is basically like, "What the fuck are you doing with this dead body, and what do you want with it, and why is it on our ship?" Yeah, that would creep me out. And then we get a pretty cool scene, and I think I'm gonna have to go amend my Marvelous Monday Melee article, because I forgot to add this Groot moment where he comes flying out of nowhere and stomps this fucking dude's eyeballs out.
Yeah, that was fucking great.
Jesus Christ, like baby Groot is a bloodthirsty motherfucker. I mean,
dude's like, I'm blind. He's like, my eye.
And then his like bad guy partner, he looks like the boss of him because he's got this fur cape on. And
his helmet, everything about him's different. His helmet, his uniform,
he's got a little more like Darth Maul helmet going on. He whacks Groot out of the way but he's also pissed at his cohort who just got his eyes stamped out by baby Groot. He's like, you are a worthless cur, he calls him.
You were killed by a ficus.
Yeah, like he is so pissed at this trained assassin that got taken out by baby Groot. But that was a great panel. I loved it. Like I stomping this dude's eyes out. I mean, I've gone gone on about it for a minute now. So yeah, I love this panel. Might be my new phone background. So Rocket is pissed now because this dude is swatted Baby Groot away. And he tries to fire at him, but the guy makes his way out of this. I don't know what you call those portals. Like it's a thin portal that you can see through on the ship. Like their portal door.
Do they have yeah, it looks like a shield that keeps them from getting sucked out into the vacuum of space.
Yeah, like a space lock or something like that. You can call it what you want, but you Trekkies might know what I'm talking about. I'm not really a Trekkie.
Airlock.
Yeah, there we go. So anyway, Rocket goes after this bad guy who's taking this dead body because he's like, if these dudes are going for this dead body, there's got to be something up with it. You know, he's like, I'm not letting them get away with it. So he goes after this Darkhawk looking fella. Rocket ends up
one of Gamora's swords.
Yeah, he does. He steals one of Gamora's swords on the way. I don't know what Gamora has been doing this whole time, hanging out in space. They don't really let us know, but Rocket takes one of her swords, goes after this dude, and stabs him through the gut. Like he gets the first shot in, like Talon fingers, and as Rocket is wrestling with him, he gets like sliced across. I don't know. Would you say the abdomen area?
Yeah, right. Like right in between. Like if you got a 6-pack, it's like right under the first little indentation. He got shanked right through there.
Kind of kidney area, side of the stomach. This allows the guy to grab the dead body again and try to pull it away from Rocket. Rocket wrestles it away from him, tries to take off with it. This dude shoots like a claw, and they're wrestling for this body one last time. And as he pulls it away from Rocket and really gets away with it, Rocket ends up pulling off at least a hand from the wrist on down. You know what I'm saying? Like he ripped it right off the upper bone of the arm as he went speeding away.
The art looks great there too, like when the body's being pulled and the jets. Like,
yeah, I really love any Marvel space book. To be honest with you, the art in the space books is always pretty much they put a good artist on it. They don't want to fuck those books up. They don't want to piss off the cosmic fans. They always treat them pretty well art wise. And anyway, we get back to the ship. Off one of the last few guys, he uses like a freeze gun on one of them. He's like, oh, we better sweep this guy up before he melts. And then what's going on here at the bottom? Gamora pops back in, kills. Oh no. Gamora pops back in and kind of distracts Peter. Like they're having a quick discussion, and the final guy almost ends up getting like the drop on him. But Drax breaks his vow of silence here, knocks him pretty much out. He's a little pissed off about it seems. Rocket arrives back, throws the hand that he has found just on the ground, and it kind of makes a clanking sound. And then it's covered, in like cloth and by the spacesuit. So they're like, what's this all about? They uncover from the hand what they call a negaband.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get into that a little. Yeah, I'm going to get into that. I don't want to discuss it quite yet because I amended the Marvelous Facts section and I got a whole bunch of details about these negabands. So we'll get into them in good detail there. But that's kind of like one of the big cliffhangers of this issue is that they've run into
very big
one half of a negaband. So yeah, if you're up on Marvel Cosmic Space shit, that's a big deal. All these guys, all the Guardians, meaning, are stunned and, really kind of discussing what to do when all of a sudden Rocket ends up dropping to his side. And it turns out the wound that he took, he didn't really think was such a huge deal. Turns out being a big deal because it was the guy had like claws on his hands and then they were like laced in poison. Right? That's how he got poisoned.
Yep.
So they rush Rocket off to the med bay. There's kind of some light moments going down in this high drama situation, like with Rocket kind of mentioning how he doesn't like people touching him, but someone has to carry him to the med bay, and someone else also mentioning how like, see, told you this med bay was a good idea, even though you told us we were basically a bunch of pussies for putting it in. So yeah, there's some levity added to this serious situation here. And they're trying to rush off and save Rocket. While they're doing that, we check in on, something they've been treating as probably a cliffhanger throughout this series. I don't know, because I haven't read since issue 1. But it is still this bad guy. I don't know if they've revealed him. You could let me know, I guess. But it's still this bad guy who is like in an Oz type robe, a Mr. Oz type robe, like you can't see his face, his whole body's pretty much covered. And you see a giant Groot monster stumbling out of this spacecraft. It looks like they've arrived from somewhere, all these different Groots. So this dude is growing Groots. He's summoning Groots from different planets. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this dude.
He grew them all.
Oh, okay. See, I thought they like arrived in, because you see the spaceship come crashing down.
He's been feeding them and like, well, he's had them for a while. He was growing them on another planet, and now he's taking them out because he's been feeding them.
That's what's going on here. I got you. I thought this was the planet he was on, and he was summoning a new planet. He's arrived with them, and they're stepping off this ship.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So that's what's going on there, and the Groot, as he walks off this ship, is like, for the flora, which is the second goddamn time this word has been mentioned in this issue. And I probably haven't seen it since 10th grade fucking biology class. So
I love the little one. He's like, save some meat bags for us, please.
Yeah. And he is a disturbed looking bastard down in the lower left, and in between this big one's legs. I think I would rather run into the big scary one than these two little creepy ass motherfuckers.
Especially the one on the right under the legs. He looks creepy as fuck.
Yeah, they both. Like, I would not want to run into. I'd rather run into the big one than the two little ones. To be so yeah, that sums up this issue. As far as how we do things, we tell you guys to buy it, borrow it, or forget it altogether for each and every issue. I got Carl's notes here, and this was his hero section book. So I'm going to read these over first, and then me and Trevor are going to give you our final thoughts on what we say. I'm going to assume Carl states this is a buy. He did not write that anywhere. Oh, yes, he did. There it is, way up top. Buy. He goes, this was a good issue to jump back in on. He goes, we did this with the last comic, meaning number 1, and he goes, I'm still a fan. So he's been jumping in and out, and he's still a fan of what he's read so far, I guess is what that means there. Only difference here is he likes the art a little more than he did in issue 1. So obviously, he thinks the artist is getting more comfortable with the characters. Nothing about the book left him feeling lost. He's looking forward to reading next issue, and if it stays good, he's gonna bring it back around again in the future. So yeah, it's a title that's not stopping going into Legacy. This is something they've been double shipping, as far as that goes. I've treated it like Carl has treated it. I have read it and kept up with it when we've done it on the podcast, and it's not something I buy regularly and keep up with. As far as that goes, I don't do that with a whole lot of Marvel double ships just because of price, and the ones they choose to double ship aren't ones I really want to follow yet. But I want to rate this overall as a borrow. There were some interesting developments, but it didn't change my mind overall as far as how I feel about like the book overall and the characters overall. I do feel the stories put together well, and I think the art is fantastic. Like we said, this is a great Marvel space book. But it didn't change my opinion about wanting to follow it and pick it up, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. But if you're a big Cosmic fan or you're a Guardians fan, this is something you would definitely enjoy. So that's where I'm at as far as Guardians 6 goes. We will promise you we'll talk about the nega bands in some more detail here after our second book of the night. But what do you think about overall as far as this book goes for this week, 6, Guardians of the Galaxy?
I really liked it. I've been following this book since #1. I even like the free comic book day issue. That 1 and 2 followed the main story, and then 3 they started doing something interesting. They made it like the Gamora story about what led her. It pretty much it shows you the motivation for the plot. You know what I mean? It shows the whole story about her inside the Soul Stone, and it was a different artist. Like every other issue, after the first 2 issues where they set up the main story, every other issue has been a one-shot about what a Guardian has been up to, like what their driving motivation is. You know what I mean? Their story before they all came back together. And the first one by Gamora was Fraser Irving did the art, and then the second one was Star-Lord and Chris Samney did the art. So I'm curious. Okay. I think the next one's Drax, and I'm curious to see who's going to do that next.
Yeah, they'll probably fill you in on why he's a goddamn Buddhist or whatever he is now, right?
Yeah. So that's the story you'll get with that, and I'm so curious about who's going to be the artist they choose to do that. And it's nice because it helps the book out from, you're not getting the same story every 2 weeks, so it doesn't destroy. Because when you get lulls in the plot when you have the same story on a bi-weekly schedule, it really hurts it.
Yeah,
I'm glad that's what's going on here.
There's a lot of like issues when DC does it for the bi-weekly books where one of the issues that month is just a lot of recap and a lot of like filler events or conversations.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Which is such a bummer. And I love Jerry Duggan's name. Every time I see his name, I think of like Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed this. I liked getting back to the main plot because that means we got some Aaron Kuder art, and then his art is just fucking spectacular. He was on Action Comics and he did Death of X. He was great. I liked the Darkhawk ripoffs.
They
the
really
Raptors
did look like Darkhawk.
The Shia Raptors were pretty cool. The art and the paneling all the way through, like just the way the story was told, is always interesting in this book. The artist really does help with the story a lot. It just makes it more fun, more interesting. This book is just really fun. Like it's not.
Yeah.
But it also has a really cool story building, especially with the Infinity Stones, because I think it's going to lead to something larger throughout the Marvel Universe with the Infinity Stones, because everybody seems to be starting to catch on.
Starting to pop back around. Yeah.
I mean, this is definitely my favorite cosmic book. It looks beautiful. I really enjoyed this issue, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed the past issues from the main arc.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really good. It had a really great action. I loved Baby Groot stomping on that guy's eyes. That shit was hilarious.
There wasn't a lot that happened. Like the ship stalls in the immediate beginning of the issue, and that's all you really deal with for the whole issue. So
it moved pretty quick. It was like a moment. It was like something that happened in the 20. It literally, like the 20 minutes that it takes you to read it is the amount of time it took for everything to happen in this book, which actually is kind of cool when I think about it, because like all this could have happened in 20 minutes. These guys like show up, they fight, the guys grab the body, they get away, he chases them, and then he passes out and has to be rushed to the med bay. That could have happened in 20 35 minutes, like tops.
At the most.
Which is pretty cool. Art looks great. I love the overall series. It's definitely a buy for me. This is I buy this every time it comes out, and I always enjoy reading it. I always have a good time. I always laugh. And if you're looking for a cool cosmic book, or if you're looking for the Guardians, this is it. This is great. So check it out. The nega bands, that was fucking pretty cool too. I can't wait. There are so many seeds being dropped, because there's also the secondary story with all the like evil Groots. There's so many like threads being like set up that when it all just starts to spin out and happen, it's going to be pretty awesome. Or it could be pretty awesome. Who knows? Jerry Duggan hasn't disappointed me yet, so we're Duggan. Dude.
Yeah, so we got 2 buys and 1 borrow to wrap up Guardians of the Galaxy #6, and we're going to move on to our next book, and it's the spider section here. and that is Spectacular Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, #2. And this is the one you guys voted for over final issue of Spidey 2099 and Renew Your Vows #9. Spidey 29 was not very good. That book, I was really pumped when it first came out, and it just really kind of just meandered forever dealing with the same story that wasn't very interesting. So that book's all done with, and this is kind of like the B book coming in its place. So Spectacular Spider-Man #2. This is a Chip Zdarsky book, and he's got art by, what Kubert is this, Adam or Andy?
Adam.
Adam Kubert. Hold on, I'm getting to my titles page here. Color artist Jordi Belair. VC's Travis Lanham. Got a couple different variant covers and stuff done by various different artists. And the thing that throws you off right away is like you're looking at something up top and it says, what is Project Twilight on the cover? And you never even really, I feel like, deal with that in the issue. So
never even mention it.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with this book, because issue from Free Comic Book Day dealt with like the Vulture and a cliffhanger with some chick in like a purple suit. The Trapster or something was her name, right?
Yep.
And then
the
issue, I mean, this kind of picks up the threads from issue 1 basically, but it still doesn't reveal what the hell goddamn Project Twilight is, and you might maybe get some hints here a little later on, but we're gonna get into it here. The title page, yeah, I guess you could call it the title page, where like they usually sum up the story, is even a little different here. It's like just full of jokes, and like it feels like a Deadpool title page. Like is Peter talking to himself, to us? I don't understand what's going on.
I have no clue.
Yeah, and it threw me off a little bit right away. We pick up the events that ended last issue with Spider-Man and Riri. Riri still looks like a dude to me. Like it just flat out looks like an Iron Man boy costume.
Yeah, it does.
But Spider-Man is face to face with her, and they're confronting each other because Spider-Man arrived here last issue, and she popped out of the garage in full armor. Because he mentioned how he was going to maybe arrest her. And right away, he pulls out like an autograph book. He's like, oh, I'm here for an autograph. I just got Captain America's autograph, and now I want your autograph. And you would almost think, like, in this case, Riri Williams is like the older person to Peter Parker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah, it just plays off horribly. The entire scene, and there's like
kid.
Yeah, he's being written like it's a teenage high school adventure, but in the present day.
Like she's schooling him, like telling him, like, "Oh, why'd you come to my house? My secret identity." And like, ugh, like
I didn't even know she had a secret identity. I thought everyone just knew Riri Williams had Iron Man armor. Because don't they know she's the girl that reverse engineered the Iron Man suit? That was like news.
Knows, like it's pretty much general knowledge. Like a lot of people know. Too many people know for it to be considered any kind of secret identity. But she's never really declared it.
Okay, it's never been like Tony Stark coming out and saying I'm Iron Man.
Yeah, nothing like that. But people know.
We also I wanted to mention like these corny ass dialogue boxes that bring up like when this story takes place, which also is just like a continuity nightmare about who we're dealing with in the characters in this book, because I don't know, the reveal of the bad guy behind all this turns out to be Kingpin, and they're saying this takes place before Secret Empire, but Peter just met Kingpin before Secret Empire, and Kingpin sent him to go about where the Goblin was. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it really makes
an Omega.
Yeah, like him giving this issue a timeline totally ruins the timeline this issue is given. Like you could place it in your mind without being told where it happens in much better, just in a much better way than it's told you in the book.
It would mean this happened before Clone Conspiracy also,
Yeah, they don't say anything like that. It just says before Secret Empire.
It would have to be.
Spider-Man and Riri end up crash landing in like a construction site since she took them out of the neighborhood because Spider-Man tied her legs together. That they reveal, well, not they reveal, Riri reveals like a Tony Stark AI to Spider-Man, and this is the first time he's catching glimpses of this. So he's talking to the Stark AI, and Riri mentions like there's just like jokes all over the place. It's such a mess. She mentions something about how they're talking over the woman in the room, and she's not even talking at this moment in time. Like, you popped the AI out, so you two stopped fighting. So yeah, naturally, Spider-Man is going to talk to the fucking AI of one of his best friends he hasn't seen and thinks is dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, we get down to brass taxes. Really, what page is this on? On page 5 or 6 of the issue, finally, and address the elephant in the room, which is this hacked Stark phone that is the entire purpose Spider-Man is in Chicago for. He gives it to Riri, and she's like, well, I'm going to look into this, but it's going to take me a while to trace who's behind all this nonsense. So Spider-Man rides home on her back and goes to New York City. He walks into the apartment, and because he was just in Chicago. Riri gave him a ride to New York City, and Johnny Storm is still hanging out with this chick from 7:30 the previous day. I don't. Nobody changed. Everyone's still hanging out in this apartment. Peter's quote unquote
Same clothes.
sister still has her coat on and her purse on. Whatever. So Peter reintroduces himself to his sister that's not his sister, and this part of the book basically just runs through the whole OGN novel. There's like 2 splash pages of what happened, and then Peter's sister filling him in on why she's here now. Because she got a job after the CIA working for some secret division of S.H.I.E.L.D. She found out something this secret division of S.H.I.E.L.D. was researching, which is basically how to take down all the heroes, right?
Yeah. They're cooking up a way to take down everybody just in case, like Batman.
Yeah, like Tower of Babel story. And she took that information, used some process to basically inject the data into her blood, and took off. So she, if this group runs into her, this division of S.H.I.E.L.D., they've been given the order to shoot on sight. So she's like a wanted criminal. She's at the top of their list. And she's come to Peter and Johnny Storm to protect her. Peter basically, accepts the responsibility, and then ends up taking off immediately after accepting the responsibility to go on this date that he had planned with the chick from the previous issue that he met as Spider-Man.
So fucking dumb.
I know. It just like, you don't think, as you're reading this, you're just like cringing. You're like, this is so stupid. I can't even wrap my mind around it. So Peter arrives to like a Starbucks-esque coffee shop, in full Spider-Man gear and a suit coat.
Don't forget the duffel bag.
Yeah, in a duffel bag for some reason. There's some jokes thrown around about yoga, and how expensive coffee is, and I don't know, stupid jokes. None of them made me laugh throughout this. If you laugh at the jokes, it's only because they're so fucking stupid. You're just like, I can't believe that is an actual joke anywhere in life, and you laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? It's a dad fucking joke. This comic book is filled with dad jokes. And my big beef with this whole scene is like, Spider-Man doesn't tell anybody his identity because he doesn't want people to, be hurt that he loves and he cares for. So there's no way Peter would ever go on a date with a regular citizen in his Spider-Man gear, because a bad guy would then immediately know who to go after to hurt Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like
They even talk about it.
Yeah, it's the entire concept of Spider-Man just shit on in 2 panels.
And they mention it. They mention that it's being shit on too. Like she's like, "Hey, wouldn't it be better if you dressed in normal clothes, you idiot?" Like,
yeah, right. Just maybe I don't know, wear a different mask so I can't see your face. She doesn't say that, but I like, what are you gonna fucking do? I don't.
Even though
like,
he
you
knows
gotta tell her your
what could
identity.
happen. Yeah, and he's like, "That's a very good point. Oh, I never thought of that." Oh.
I know. It's like Forrest Gump Spider-Man. That's what this is. It's Forrest Gump Spider-Man. So yeah, they're sitting down and now they're having a coffee date. And then Spider-Man pulls out some carrots from his little man pouch. And while he's munching on carrots, some dude is flipping out at the coffee bar because his coffee or his latte or whatever the fuck ritzy coffee drink he got wasn't made right. And he's getting all over this barista's shit. So Spider-Man like webs his ass and yanks him. So then this dude's all pissed off. Spider-Man webbed him because this is a suede coat and it's going to stain my suede fucking coat. You goddamn prick. You know, it looks like Greg Capullo. You know what I'm saying? So this dude wants to,
cool, bro.
like this dude, what's this dude gonna do? Fight Spider-Man? Like he thinks he has a fucking chance to fight Spider-Man?
I know. Look at his dumb fucking sunglasses too. He's got these douchebag sunglasses on.
Yeah,
they're
Captain
like Cold's glasses.
Yeah, that's what they look like. They're like the super skinny. When were those popular? Like the 80s? Not even like
oh god,
what band used to wear them in the 80s? I can't think of it. We need Jim for that trivia. But yeah, maybe something like that. Devo? That's what they look like. Devo sunglasses. Anyway, Peter's just like all of a sudden the argument just stops, and Peter's like, "Oh, it's awful hot in here," and it turns out Johnny Storm is suddenly behind him and like lighting his chair, heating up his chair. So Spider-Man's like, "Why aren't you watching our person that we're supposed to be watching at our house?" When Spider-Man then is interrupted. So not only is there like no good jokes, fucking a stupid ass situation going on. Like we're not even dealing with any sort of plot or anything in this book. That it's got ADD too, because then Spider-Man gets a call from Riri, and we finally feel like dealing with our plot sort of, but not really, because she's like, "Well, you know, your unhackable phone that was hacked can't be traced, so it's untraceable, but it's not untraceable from where it's been," whatever the fuck that means. So like she can track the trace elements from where the thing has been set down, I guess is what she's saying.
Yeah.
Is that what you get?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So like if you set it down on a desk in a certain location, you're like, I don't know, with the location's radioactive, she can trace that and figure out maybe where it's been. And she figures out it's been where the Kingpin holds court. You know what I'm saying? Where the Kingpin's lair is. And Spider-Man's like, "Oh, I really don't feel like dealing with that guy." You just fucking saw him. Either you just fucking saw him, or this is where you make nice with him so he gives you information. I don't know what the reason is, but it makes no sense in any Spider-Man continuity that I've read. When they say this title is in canon, they make conscious effort to say it takes place before Secret Empire. Like it's nonsense, and it's just fucking bullshit. It's stupid.
Fucking stupid.
Then we get a nothing cliffhanger of Peter's sister that's not his sister, looking at Peter's family photos and like smirking at him. And you can't tell what her smirks mean. Like one's a sideways smirk, then she's not smirking, then she pulls something out of her coat, which she thinks is a picture of her parents, which could be Peter's parents holding her. So maybe she is Peter's sister again. I don't know. You don't know anything going on in this book.
Well, you know what it is? She got they implanted memories in her to believe that she was Peter's sister. So she still has those memories. So even though she's not his sister, like she remembers growing up with him, and
so she's got an attachment that doesn't exist in the real world to Peter's
parents. Yeah.
That's the end of the issue. So yeah, as far as buy, borrow, or free it goes for Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man #2, I think this book is just a flaming pile of barf. Then where a dog is come and took a flaming pile of shit right on that flaming pile of barf. It stinks so bad from baking in the hot sun all day. I want nothing to do with it. I don't even want to pick it up. I just hope it rains and goes away. You know, if I bought this book in physical copy, I would rip it in half and put it on a fire. It's not worth saving in a long box. It makes me never want to read another Chip Zdarsky book. Like it, and I know he's done some good series. Like people say, read his Howard the Duck or read whatever. Like
Star-Lord.
You know, maybe I think he's writing Howard the Duck drawn as Spider-Man right now. That's what I think is going on here. And maybe his Howard the Duck humor was better than it is coming off in a Spider-Man book, but like it feels like a fucking art class project that was made and published by Marvel right now. That's what I feel like I'm reading, and it's horrible. And if I was a teacher and I had to grade it, I would give it an F and tell them to redo it.
I don't get the cover either. What's up with the cover? You got all these people on there. Only like the 2 of them show up in the book.
Yeah, he's only dealing with Kingpin. Like, what's every Spider-Man villain and non-villain on the cover? You got Thing.
No, you got Cyclops, Vision, Nova. Duck. Yeah.
Okay, it's just heroes. I thought it was villains at first, just because they look like they're all coming after him and he's running away from them.
Makes no sense.
I guess I didn't even really pay attention to it. Because I still don't know what is Project Twilight. Someone tell me. I'd like to know.
How about this, right?
19 Chip, people, what is Project Twilight?
19 people reviewed this on Comic Book Roundup. #1. 19 people reviewed #1. 5 people reviewed #2. 5.
Yeah.
It got a 7.4, but everybody gave it, like 4 people gave it an 8.0 and up, and 1 person gave it a 3.0. An actual person who lives in reality who said they don't want to. They're not looking for it.
No. There's one review worth of shit on the Roundup right now.
Yeah. Like I'm not looking for a Deadpool book dressed up in webs, and I'm like, yeah, I agree.
I read the site Superior Spider Talk, and they just reviewed this book today, so that one will probably be up there tomorrow, and they gave it a 5, which is again it's pretty spot on. Like there's
a 5 is generous.
Art is better this issue. If I had to give it one compliment, that's what I would say about
this
issue.
Riri Williams doesn't have a breastplate on her Iron Man costume. Like she looks like a man. This could be fucking Tony Stark. Like there's nothing to discern male from female about her design. Like that's fucking the biggest faux pas. Like it's fucking ridiculous. This whole entire issue was just fucking stupid. Like I don't even want to get into detail about it because it was just so fucking dumb and childish, and the jokes are like, who is this for? Like I don't know who this is for.
Yeah, like I don't know why people like it. I really want someone to write us an email and tell me. I know Repairman Jack likes it. He likes it better than Amazing, but I don't know why everyone likes it. I don't.
Who the fuck in their right mind would like this book like better than Amazing Spider? That's fucking insane. This is so fucking bad. Like people complain all the time, like, oh, I don't like Peter being a billionaire on the company. Like, who gives a shit? That's where the story was taken. Like after Dr. Octopus, Superior Spider-Man, like that's the logical point. Like, what did you expect to happen? That to go away? Like, who cares? He's gonna lose it anyway and end up back at the fucking
he is. He's going back to the Bugle, so everyone will get what they want and they'll still hate it. So you know what I'm saying?
Like Amazing Spider-Man, like it's actually packed. It's actually funny when the jokes are told. Like the art's always beautiful. Like what the fuck are you complaining about? Like people like
Spider-Man's. I don't know. Spider-Man's humor is used to throw bad guys off their game. Like he's not a fucking Forrest Gump level intelligence person. I don't want to say the R word when I'm talking about someone like that, but he's not that. He's not that type of person, just throwing out, not even knowing he's telling a joke, just acting stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just acting stupid.
And it's not Deadpool. Like, people made that complaint about Scarlet Spider, but in Scarlet Spider, he's, first of all, he's not acting exactly like Deadpool. Second of all, his psychosis is earned because of what he's been through. Like, this makes no sense whatsoever, and it's completely out of continuity. Like, before Secret Empire, when did this fucking happen?
Peter has he at least has his company at this point in time, and he is bringing fucking carrot sticks into a goddamn Starbucks, and he's probably got a fucking American Express black card in his wallet. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dude is a billionaire. He's not sneaking food into a fucking place for a date. You know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I'm still trying to wrap my head around Adam Kubert penciled this, because it does not look like Adam Kubert penciled this. Like, the art's not bad or anything. It's just not great. It's not of the caliber that Adam Kubert is. You know, Adam Kubert's way fucking better than this. Like,
yeah.
Oh God,
this is just. I don't find anything to enjoy. There's nothing I enjoy in this book.
It's bad. I giggled a little while reading it, but it was more out of the stupidity of it rather than, you know, it's actually funny. Like,
they're know what they are when you go to watch a stand-up comedian and he's not good, but he finally has a joke that's like average, and you give him like a pity giggle. You know what I'm saying? Like, like Chip Zdarsky's getting pity giggles out of me in this issue, and if he was standing in front of me, I'd be like, ugh, I might have to excuse myself to the bathroom because I can't watch this. It's a fucking bomb.
So bad. Needless to say, it's a forget it altogether for me. This issue fucking sucked. It sucked worse than the first one. You know what? The Free Comic Book Day one was actually like, we could have built on that, and it would have been way fucking better. Even the art.
I don't know what happened to that story. I don't know what happened to that story. Like, I thought Mary Jane was going to be a character he ran into and stuff, and none of that.
Nothing. Goes on dates in Spider-Man costumes. Fucking stupid.
I know. I know.
So
I can't get over that. I can't fucking get over that for 1 second. Just it's utterly the stupidest thing. And I hate to get like on a soapbox and be like, that's not my fucking Spider-Man. That's not something Spider-Man would never do. But he is literally, probably besides Batman, the pickiest hero about his identity. People. Not going out on a date with a stranger in his suit when he's afraid of getting the people he loves the most and the people he cares for hurt out of the suit. You know what I'm saying?
He got shot during Civil War. Like, he knows the importance. Like, this is ridiculous.
But yeah, Carl actually said it's a borrow for him. He liked it better than issue 1. He said the jokes hit better for him. He said the jokes hit better for him. He's glad Ironheart was in the book. He thought Spider-Man riding on Ironheart's back was fun. And if Chip keeps it up, he's gonna have to keep checking out this book. So Carl likes it. I don't know, dude. I can't understand. I wish Carl was here today because I would tell him. I don't get you, buddy.
No. But hey, like, there's something for everyone, right? Like, at least someone likes this book.
It sells. I don't know. I want to move on. I like
the more serious tone of Amazing Spider-Man. I know people don't like it for some reason, but I like that. You know, maybe it's because I'm an adult. I don't know. But
I don't know either. If you watch the cartoon, like, Spider-Man in the cartoon isn't like in any cartoon he's ever been in, besides the stupid one they put out now as a kid. Like, I think that's Chip Zdarsky's only reference for Spider-Man is like he watched Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon on Disney XD, and that's what he writes it like, where Spider-Man talks to the kids watching it, like breaks the fourth wall all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's what
kids
he almost feels like he's doing here. But yeah, let's move on. I don't want to talk about this anymore. 2 forgets, one borrow. If we're wrong, tell us why. Email us. You know how to get a hold of us.
We're not wrong.
So downtrodden. I feel like I know what Jim feels like when he talks about a shitty fucking book and he doesn't want to do it anymore. He just wants to stop for the night.
Oh,
But we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to go to the Midpoint Marvelous Facts, where we're going to cover Kingpin. We're going to cover Shadow King, and we're going to cover the what fucking is the name of those bracelets? The Nega Bands.
Negaban.
We'll be right back.